I'm going to tell a story that begins with the birth of my beautiful little baby girl about 26 years ago. But from the time she was born, I knew that there was something very different about her. Every transition, everything that involved touching her pretty much made her cry. If she heard the TV on in one room and the radio on in another room, that would overwhelm her and she would cry. So it became very, very difficult, obviously, to comfort her and to mother her and to soothe her. And I had just finished my doctorate degree about 4 years before she was born. And my doctorate is in maternal and child health. So I was feeling very dejected that here I was, this competent professional in maternal and child health, and I couldn't even make my own child happy. Probably the saddest thing for me was that she didn't breastfeed very well. I had breastfed my son for 18 months, but this child would not breastfeed, or she'd breastfeed for 5 minutes on one side, then she'd fall asleep. And then when I gave her a bottle, though, she would take the bottle ravenously, and she would take the bottle from other people. So there was this theme for me that I was not a good mom, that there was something that I wasn't doing right to help her. So then in preschool, the biting began. In elementary school, the tantrums and the fighting began. In middle school, the depression. And by high school, she was involved in drugs and alcohol, petty crimes, and early sexual activity. She was diagnosed with ADHD at age 6. She was diagnosed with OCD at 11, impulse control disorder at 12, and finally bipolar disorder at 16. And as for me, after being assaulted by her, after going on the east side of Detroit to find her when she ran away, I had just kind of said, now she's 17, I've got to let it go. It was pulling me down. I was not able to lift her up. By now I was so angry with her and so judgmental of her that clearly my relationship with her was not working. But soon after that, we moved to California. By then, she was about 21 years old, and things began to change. She now was in an environment where there was sunshine, and she could get out and be free. She always wanted to be free. She never liked to be told what to do. And about the same time, about a year after we got here, I enrolled in a graduate program on infant mental health. And one of the things I learned about in this class was something called sensory disorders. Disorders of touch, smell, and sound. And these disorders make it very difficult for young kids to contain their anger, and they have outbursts that look very much like mood disorders. I knew that that's what she was dealing with, was undiagnosed sensory disorders. But today, I sort of celebrate this new awareness of these sensory issues and how that impacted her mental health. And now there's a lot of science that allows us to actually look inside the brain and see what's going on, and to know that children like my daughter actually have a different brain architecture, and there's a different white matter in the brain.